Hi everybody, I'm Allison, and I thought I would just share some of my November favorites with you. To kind of figure out what my November favorites were, I went back through my Instagram, which is alliballilovesmakeup. I think that's right. Did I change my name on Insta recently? I don't know. Where am I? Yeah, it's Allie Bally Loves Makeup. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway. Okay, I'm pulling it together now. So I went over there and kind of looked at like what were the posts of my makeup of the days that I posted most of from what palettes. Did that just make any sense? Can I even talk? I went to my Instagram to see what I had been wearing in the posts that I made, and there were 3 palettes that I have worn quite a bit of, most exclusively actually in November. And then there's just some other things I thought I'd share with you. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. Gosh, every YouTuber says that, don't they? Okay, anyway, the first palette that I really loved in November is the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. This palette is just really pretty. I love the color story in here. I do kind of wish there was a deeper, darker brown. So some of these like goldy bronze shades, the deepest shade that they have is this Vortex, which is an eggplant, which I love that shade, don't get me wrong. But I wish if there was just one more deep, dark matte, you might be able to do a few different, your looks might look a little bit different. Not that you can't get different looks with this palette, because you totally can. I have done so. You can see it on my Instagram. But where I feel like this palette is super special is in her new nudes palette. The shimmers are more of a foiled look, but in here, the shimmers are really sparkly. Not glittery, but there's just like a twinkle when you put them on your eyes. And where I find it's really magical is when you start layering some of these different shades, like some of these purpley tone shades, or like, this galaxy shade is really pretty with this supermoon shade. And then the mattes just blend out like so lovely. This is a beautiful palette, and I'm really glad that I purchased it. And I purchased it during the Sephora sale, so I got it for cheaper. Go me. Okay, these next 2 palettes are the highest of high-end in makeup that I have. They are the Pat McGrath palettes. I have the Midnight Sun and the Divine Rose, and I've been using both of these quite a lot. This Midnight Sun palette is just really special. I feel like there's a lot you can do with it. I have several different looks on my Instagram using this palette. I love some of the more colorful shades. Now this palette does pull a little warmer, especially with these mattes. Like this matte right here is really warm. You can get such a pretty sunset look. You can get like a totally neutral look though with like these mattes here and this shimmer. You can incorporate color with this gorgeous, gorgeous copper shade. People have been calling this bronze. This is copper, in my humble opinion. And then this purple shade, and then, oh my gosh, this Blitz Astral shade here is one of her special shade glitters. So is this copper. But they're so special. I've loved every look I've done with this palette. I've done everything from a neutral to like putting this purple on the lower lash line or on the lid. I've put this green on my lower lash line with neutral on top. I loved that look. It's just so pretty. And the packaging of these palettes is hands down, she wins the game in like packaging. It's so, so pretty. Love, love, love. And then we have Divine Rose, which is what's on my eyes today. Look at this beautiful rose packaging. So pretty. I thought it was so interesting that she came out with this one so quickly after Midnight Sun, but I don't think this palette is available anywhere right now. You'll have to go listen to my really long-winded story about how I stocked this palette, what happened when there was a shipping thing that happened. So go watch this video with this look because I tell you all about it, so I don't need to tell you again. But this is just such a pretty rosy toned, and that those pops of gold. This is the Shame glitter. This is the same glitter that's in the other Midnight Sun palette, that Blitz Astral, but it's so pretty. I don't mind having it in both palettes. Yeah, so those are my eyeshadow palette loves this month. They're just so, so good. Two more makeup favorites. I've been rocking MAC's Warm Soul like exclusively lately. I love this mineralized blush. Love, love, love. This is one of the only products of MAC that I really even use anymore. I remember I went hard for MAC, gosh, about 10 years ago when it was so popular on YouTube, and I think it's still a good brand, but makeup has changed so much. So yeah, it's crazy to see how it's evolved. And then what's on my lips today is this Too Faced La Creme lipstick. I honestly don't know if they even make this anymore, but it's in Honey Bear, and I just love this tone on my lips. So pretty. So, so pretty. You can see it, and it's super creamy and hydrating and all of that. So those are my makeup favorites. I just have a couple other things to chat with you about. One is, it's not really a beauty product, but it kind of is because it makes you smell good. But it also has, other benefits to it as well. And those are my Young Living oils that I have here. All of these I have rollerball caps on, and I'll show you. And I literally have a whole routine that I do every morning. I got into oils through like my aunt and my cousin, and my grandma actually passed away last month, and so just been dealing with her loss, and just grief in general has kind of always been a thing that I've struggled with after losing my dad several years ago. So my aunt was telling me some oils to kind of help with the emotions that come along with grief, and one of them was white angelica. And so I rub this on my shoulders every morning. And then bergamot is supposed to be really helpful with grief, and I put this over my ribs because they say, I can't remember where, but like in that area of the body is kind of where you store grief apparently. So I put that on my ribs. I put joy over my heart, and this kind of has a campfire smell to it. It's just, I really like it a lot. And then I use patchouli on my wrist, and then right here, like behind my ears. And then I take patchouli and I rub it all over my hand, and then I take my Aveeno lotion and rub that together to give my lotion kind of a scent, and then I put my lotion on. So that's like my morning routine every morning. I do that, and I really feel like it's helped. Just kind of, I feel centered, and I don't feel like I'm sort of drowning in grief. And I think, that's kind of what has helped me. Okay, moving on. There's two shows I want to tell you about. They're both Apple TV shows. One is the morning show with Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon. I watched the first 3 episodes, and now they're releasing an episode every Friday until they hit the 10 mark episode. They just released the 7th episode on Thanksgiving, but it's usually every Friday. And I've been loving that show. It's quite dramatic. It's really interesting to see like kind of a dramatic take on that storyline, which is all about morning show, hence the name morning show. And the longtime head honcho anchor is fired by the network for inappropriate sexual relations, and obviously like that's happened in real life. I'm a huge Today Show fan, and was like, when all that went down with Matt Lauer, that was yeah, it just felt like a betrayal almost. Like, I watched him every morning, and to hear some of that stuff is just really disgusting and disappointing. So it's, I don't know what they've based the show off of, but it sure feels like what happened with the Today Show. And I'm not laughing because it's not funny. I just, you get me, right? So that show has been super interesting to watch. And then the other show is Dickinson. I loved that show. Those episodes are like 30-minute episodes, and there's 10 in the season. I think it's so interesting the way they've done that show, because it's a period show. So like all the costuming and everything is like during the time when Emily Dickinson was alive, but they've integrated modern, like current popular music, and just the way it's shot. And like, I don't want to give too much away, but it's really good. I really love Haley Steinfeld. I've loved her since I saw her in what's that movie she did with what is it called? The Edge of 17. I knew it'd come to me. So yeah, I thought she was fantastic in that, and I loved her in Dickinson. So check those 2 shows out if you haven't already, and let me know what you think. Also, I'll just close out quickly with 2 songs. One song that I've been loving is called Wander by the Lone Bellow. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. Go to Spotify, go to Apple Music, buy it, stream it, whatever. It's so good. Also a song called The Astronaut by Candy Carpenter. It was produced by Brandi Carlile. It's such a great song. So yeah, that's what I've been watching, listening to, wearing on my face. That's what my November has been. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.